We need to mention the passing of a legend. Do you know what I mean? Like, talking about stage and screen. Do you know what I mean? I'm of course talking about the star that we're all going to miss, Sticky Vicky.
See you at the crossroads, crossroads, crossroads. See you at the crossroads, crossroads, crossroads. See you at the crossroads, crossroads, crossroads. See you at the
All they had was Wizard of Oz. People just must have went to see it time and time again.
It sort of forced it to become a classic.
It's sure not that impressive.
It's incredible.
A young Kansas girl who dreams of a better life somewhere over the rainbow is caught in the eye of a tornado and lands in the fantasy world of Oz.
Man, Kansas, no offence to anybody who lives in Kansas or has been there, has always kind of seemed like a bit of a shithole.
You can't say that.
No, that's... I am happy to be proven wrong, but see, when I think Kansas, I think fields full of nothingness, some corn growing, and the occasional twister. I will say this, the logo, this black and white MGM logo with the lion and the score is amazing. Yes. It makes you feel, I've wrote here, the opening credits give me a warm feeling inside. I can't describe it, but just this isn't just exclusive to the Wizard of Oz, but like any...
Have you been checked?
No, but you know what I mean? Checked for what?
You're pure sweating.
Oh man, I'm fucking...
Why have you got a warm feeling and why are you scratching?
See movies that are shot on film and they have this score and it's just something nice about it.
The technical look.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. And the fucked up thing is I watched this on Blu-ray, which, by the way, as a side note, it doesn't do this movie favours. This isn't meant to be seen in such a clear picture. For nearly 40 years, this story has given faithful service to the young in heart, and time has been powerless to put its kindly philosophy out of fashion. To those of you who have been faithful to it in return, and to the young in heart, we dedicate this picture. It's quite nice, isn't it?
It is nice.
Quite
That's
deep.
really nice.
The movie still looks incredible.
It's amazing. Dorothy and Toto go running down a Kansas road, having just escaped the wrath of evil Miss Gulch.
This thing needs to be kept in a fucking lead. Agreed?
No, why? Toto's adorable.
But you find out later that it bites this woman.
Aye, and?
See if you're taking your dog out, put a weed on it.
She tries to tell Aunt Em and Uncle Henry that Miss Gulch tried to kill Toto.
They're not having this at all. They're not barely even listening to her. I'm too busy counting my chickens or whatever they're doing. We get these three dafties.
We get these three guys.
These three farmhands who are helping out.
There are sort of, there's hints here.
Very unsubtle hints. Granted, I'm going to forgive a lot of this because it is a kids' movie. We need to remember that a lot. So sometimes in this movie I'm like...
Do you think they will try to say this is a Shyamalan twist? You're sitting with your arms folded like, no.
No, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, seeing they're doing chores around the house and the first, like, Scarecrow, the guy who plays Scarecrow, is like, you need to start using your brains. Brains? Did I say brains enough? He points at his head and all that, and I'm like, right, we get it, you're the Scarecrow.
I like it when the Scarecrow goes, do you want to see my mask?
Throw some powder on their face.
And it does that cool effect. Remember that mad
that
effect?
Was terrifying. Batman Begins is so underrated.
See, I know the fear toxin is controversial, but it's cool.
How is it controversial?
I think because that's the one kind of like mad bit about Batman Begins. The flower and all that.
I love that stuff, man.
It's
That's
amazing.
The best part of Batman Begins.
Yeah.
See, I could have done with less of this climbing up a mountain for half an hour.
No, I was in awe.
No. The
See,
scene
he's
was
like,
good.
you need to kill this farmer, and he's like, oh, that's brutal.
No, you should read up the Batman movies. It made them so Scottish. It's like, don't warm up your horns, warm up your chest. I'm going to call him Scarecrow. Whoever the guy Scarecrow is says that she has to use her brains. That way she wouldn't keep on getting in trouble. Tin Man the Aunt Em comes over and gives him grief for not doing something. He says, one of these days they're going to build a statue of me. And he stands and does a pose that I think is the same pose that they find him in. So a lot of foreshadowing happening, basically. She's climbing on this wall. She's talking to the guy who's lying. Again, don't know his name. She falls on this wall. He shits himself. Is it a pigsty she falls into? And he has to go and get her. I think there's pigs in there because he's feeding pigs at it. Oh man, this is like a fucking Hannibal situation. Remember Hannibal when he feeds that guy the pigs?
I want to feed them to pigs. Mind Oldman in that.
Great.
Vernon.
I loved all those movies. See, like Red Dragon and all that. Like the whole Hannibal series was amazing.
I saw Hannibal Rising in the cinema.
That was
Thanks, Pete.
That was the only one that wasn't great.
Oh, he's dead now, that boy. It's a shame. He was great, that Gasper. I'm sure it was a skiing accident or something, which is horrible. It's a shame. We get one of the most famous. We get the most famous song in the world here.
Do you think it's still the most famous song in the world?
It must be. Apparently, she pure cried during some scenes because it's so sad.
Really?
It is a sad song. Miss Gulch arrives with a sheriff.
Man, her on this bike, because she all got any more of a nerd. She rides her bike, her posture's just like such a nerd, man. She looks like a school teacher, doesn't she?
Me and my wife were calling you a nerd.
I know you were. I seen yous. I was telling them about a video game that they asked about, so I gave them answers. Wise of P, by the way.
You were telling me something about Pinocchio?
And Karen's pure, Pinocchio, that's a mad fucking loser.
How is it you said it's definitely Pinocchio? What is it your first answer was?
Because he's Daz Chappelle. Miss Gulch has arrived, and this is really hilarious. This is one of the funniest bits in the movie, where she shows up and she says, I got to speak to you about Dorothy. And he says, what about? She says, this bite on my leg. And went, what, she bit you? And she went, no, her dog. He went, what, she bit her dog? In the next scene, they're in the living room. She's got an order from the sheriff saying that Toto needs to be destroyed. You're, of course, devastated as an animal lover as you are. I'm sitting there thinking, do you know what? Maybe it's for the best.
You go. No, you don't.
No, I don't want Toto to be destroyed, but again, stick it on a lead.
How cute is Toto?
Super cute.
Toto escapes Mrs. Gulch's supposedly dog-proof basket and she gets back to Dorothy.
It's just a picnic basket.
That's what it is.
And the dog just jumps out and runs like fuck. It runs home, smart dog. Runs back to Dorothy. Dorothy's like, well, she's going to come back looking for you. We need to run away. Why wouldn't you just say to your auntie and uncle, can we just hide this dog? If Gulch comes back, just say that we don't know where it went. You took him. That's the last time we knew about it.
Can you hide this dog for us for a bit?
Aye,
Here, listen. No questions asked. Can you please hide this dog for a bit? Yeah, Dorothy runs away with Toto. They meet Professor Marvel.
This actor here, who plays Mr. Marvel, or of course the Wizard, is, first of all, I hope he gets paid for all the roles that he plays.
This is Frank Morgan.
He is amazing in this. This a little small part here that he's doing, where he's a sort of bumbling, fraudulent. Is he a soothsayer? What is he? He's a
huckster. He's a
snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
And he's so good at it, man. He's so good, but he's still likeable. He doesn't come across as sleazy, trying to take your money. He comes across as a nice, warm guy who's just wanting.
He certainly seems nice to her in her situation.
He's lovely too, and even at the end, when she runs away and he kind of says to himself, he's like, oh man, poor kid, hope she gets home okay and stuff. You can tell he's got a good heart.
He convinces her to go back home.
Yeah, in a really smart way, actually. So anyway, we'll get to it. So they meet this guy. He sits down at a fire pit. Toto eats one of his sausages. Kind of funny. And he doesn't seem bothered by it. He finds it funny. Again, see if this dog's in the lead. You just pull it back a wee bit. But, it's not your
You need to ease
link.
up on a bit of that, man. You're looking more and more like an Italian filmmaker every day.
Do we need to talk about the part where he looks at the crystal ball and all that and says that he thinks Aunt May's, she's fell down, she's clutching her heart. How many pure guilt, son? He's like, here, your auntie's dying, by the way.
Dorothy gets there and there's a huge cyclone kicking off. See, if I was in the cinema back then, I'd have been like, oh no, run. Oh my God, it's coming for us.
I think people back then were just really, really stupid or something.
I'd have been freaking out, man.
It looks great.
Yeah. Dorothy gets it right in the head.
Well, this is the thing as well, like, they all run into this shelter, and you can hear, I think it's the guy who plays Scarecrow, shouting, it's a twister, like that. And it's just like, we can see that, mate. That must be hard going, like, if something happens, like, and you've got a farm, so it's not just yourself to look after, like, all these animals, you'd be freaking out. You know what, I'd leave the animals, man. I better...
Right, though.
You know I'm right in that fucking shelter myself.
Right,
I'd leave you outside the fucking station.
That's the only... One of the things we've got in common, I know you'd ditch me.
We lived together on a farm for some reason, for some sitcom reason, right? We're on a farm. There's a twister, right? Because we live in Kansas, which I previously mentioned as a shithole. This twister
You
starts
need to
going,
watch that part of it
oh,
there.
fucking, is the Kansas Mafia going to come after me and throw some corn at me?
Maybe.
Chuck some corn at me?
I don't know if corn's alright to say. They love that.
Fuck. Dorothy then gets smacked in the head by a window frame,
Yeah.
which gets panned in. She falls onto her bed unconscious. The room starts spinning. We've all been there.
She wakes up in the middle of this.
Wait, this would have been terrifying, waking up in your room in the middle of a hurricane. These effects outside her window still look good.
Amazing.
It's really simple, obviously. It's
The,
just a projector.
the transitions are really cool.
Amazing. See the way that Miss Gulch, when she's on her bike and it transitions to her on the broom?
Yeah.
That still holds up.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Like, for 1959, that's fucking incredible.
It's amazing.
The iconic shot, you see the house spinning, obviously it's a little tiny model, still looks great. We see all these visions out her window, and then the house crash lands. And we find out it's on top of some poor lassie.
They killed somebody.
she fucking walks into us and murks a bitch.
Man, apparently there's like a cut scene where you see the cyclone like eat the house, which is kind of cool. But they deemed it too brutal for audiences.
I mean,
That'd have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool, yeah. But I guess maybe it would have been too real for people to like experience that.
Zack Snyder would have done it and he would have kept the sepia.
Oh, he would have, you know there's a...
When he goes to see Wizard Oz, he goes, oh no!
Colour?
Why is he colour there?
Oh, man.
Keep it in 4-3.
What is his fucking problem with colour? He hates colour.
He does not like colour apart from bronze.
Everything's a weird bronzy, yellowy... Everything looks like shit.
This scene is remarkable. This is the step into Technicolor.
When she opens her door and it transitions into colour, Anna, who's beside my daughter, 6 years old, lets out an audible, whoa.
Yeah.
And I loved it because I was like, I didn't say anything to her, I didn't tell her what was about to happen, I wanted to see a reaction. And I was kind of thinking that she wasn't even going to react. Because like, colour doesn't mean anything to kids these days, like, because that's all they know. But like, the transition still works because she, 6 years old, has never seen this movie before, went, whoa.
That technology obviously wasn't available back then. So they dimly lit the actor, Judy Garland, standing. They painted the scene sepia. And they dyed the clothes as such, and they lit it as such, so that they shot with colour film, but they're just gone sepia into Technic.
And it looks seamless.
That is so clever.
Yep. That's movie making, man. That's like the real shit. Like, see the fact that can be done on a computer now makes you kind of a wee bit sad.
Dorothy is greeted by Glinda, the Good Witch of the North.
And obviously the famous line, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. These sort of munchkins sort of pop their head out at some point, and Anna freaks out beside me. But she gets a fright jinx, it's monsters.
These munchkins, man. What is all this? What's their economy about?
You know, into the munchkins, they've got a whole government system.
What? What?
They've got
a lollipop guild.
They've got a lollipop guild. I'm not entirely sure what that is. There's a mayor. There's a coroner who checks the body. There's another guy with a big red cloak who's like, is it a town crier or something?
Is it a big red cloak?
So this town, like, this is not a pun, I'm not trying to make a joke, but this town is really wee. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about like the people of the buildings. I mean, like, I think the town is just this entire circle that they're standing in, and that's it. A couple of houses and a building.
This is...
The scale is weird.
I don't know what's going on.
Because there seems to be too many Munchkins for the amount of buildings that there is. What I'm
Are
trying to
you
say.
worried?
There's some sort of something going on.
There is a dark overtone, so much so that it's took on legs and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
there's a million like things about this movie and like conspiracy theories, but I've got a feeling, or my hunch is that it's because this movie is so old, and because it's so watched, and because it's the most watched movie ever made, that people just make this shit up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've heard the famous one is the Munchkin that hung himself, apparently. Yeah. There's also that it syncs perfectly to Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. There's a couple other ones, but like, I think they're all shite, probably.
I don't like Pink Floyd enough to do that.
What? Are we going to argue?
I like if Division Bell's good.
Oh, that's one of their no as good ones.
It's
What about Dark
fine.
Side of the Moon?
What about it?
Are you fucking kidding me on?
It's okay.
It's not though, is it? It's better than okay.
It's a poster that's up everywhere.
What about that is annoying. So Gilda's basically like, you can come out now, Munchkins, don't be afraid. She's a good witch.
Yeah.
And Dorothy's all like, whoa, what's this witch patter? I'm not a witch. And she's like, aye, you killed that witch right there. And she points at this dead body. And you see these feet sticking out with these ruby slippers.
Do you see these bad boys?
Man, these slippers are nice, man.
They are.
They're in the Smithsonian now.
By killing the Witch of the East, Dorothy has freed the Munchkins. These are the locals who rush out to tell her how much they love her. And this is a big musical number here.
Big choreographed musical number.
Goes on, doesn't it?
Oh, did you not like it?
It's good.
It's good. I mean, yeah, it does go on a little bit, but this is kind of magical.
She's going to be in our Hall of Fame.
Who else is in that Hall of Fame? Is it just her? How many celebrities are they meeting? Do you just need to go to Kansas to get to Oz, or is it like...
Jane causes a boy or a wife in Narnia.
Oh man, aye, it's one cupboard away. Or a wardrobe, shall I say. Fucking Mr. Tumnus is hanging about.
I feel that them for us wouldn't like what them for Narnia's about.
No, they're a bit too pretentious.
Narnia's got pure posh accents.
Aye, that's like the Tory Oz, isn't it?
Down and dirty in Kansas.
Aye. There's one of them where there's like a prince, it's called like Prince Narnia or something.
Prince Caspian.
Oh, Caspian.
It was him that played Jigsaw on... He's quite a good actor. Man, Wizard of Oz, by the way.
Anyway, what I'm saying is those are just like shite Wizard of Oz's. This is the OG, man. We've got some Munchkins, we've got a lot of singing and dancing.
You like this scene?
Yeah, man.
Were you up dancing in that?
There's a lot of colour involved.
Were you up dancing, kidding on you were a Munchkin?
I was.
Were you?
Aye. I wasn't up dancing, though.
Were you pure like at your daughters? Here, you too. Use are a pair of Munchkins.
Aye, like, because you're vegan. They're like, Dad, that's offensive. So there's two songs here. Like, I know it's the one song, but like, Dorothy starts singing this song, like, I don't know what it's called, Fell From a Star.
Yeah.
I think. And then it sort of transitions into Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I like that song, it makes me a Thatcher.
Yeah.
And then after the singing party and all fucking touching each other's butts and stuff.
Which apparently might have happened on set.
I have heard that these Munchkins were a rowdy bunch.
This is when the Witch of the West arrives. This is a cool performance.
Really great. In my copy and the Blu-ray version, you see the trapdoor that she comes out of with the red smoke. Again, I don't care. I just appreciate how it's done. She shows up. This is, as you say, a great performance, man. I think she's great.
Did you turn into your 6-year-old and go,
do you see that trapdoor? That's what she came for. It's no real. Magic's no real.
here, you can see the trapdoor. It's a bit shite, but in there, mate.
Pure buster bubble, man. Do you know what? When she shows up, she's like, Anna turns around to me and she goes, Dad, I think she's bad.
Oh.
I'm kind of like, oh,
You know she's a witch.
aye. And I'm kind of like, oh, don't worry, she'll get melted later. She'll get melted and die up here so horrible death, don't worry about it.
Have you seen Robocop?
She wants her sister's slippers, which is fair. She goes to take them, but they disappear, and these legs roll up. This does look a bit shite, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a bit rough.
No, the slippers disappearing and appearing on Dorothy's feet is fine, but it's the way the mad big socks just roll up.
They roll up.
It's kind of stupid looking.
Aye.
But it's fine.
It's alright. She disappears in a puff of smoke like Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see her throw those little pebbles down and it smokes and she runs away.
Glinda suggests following the yellow brick road to ask the wonderful Wizard of Oz for some help in getting back to Kansas. See the resistance in trying not to sing that.
You can't say follow the yellow brick road without starting going follow the yellow brick road. Like it's good, man. It's so catchy.
Do you pump this every day?
This whole soundtrack, man.
Have you got the DJ Rankin mix?
DJ Rankin in the mix. Remember he would do that all of his own songs? Follow the yellow brick
You
road.
better learn to lollipop.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Like that, you're like, what the fuck, man? You crash your more.
Calvin Harris gets his dirty mitts on it, man. No, they're pure clean mitts now. That's his trouble.
They're spotless, man.
They are spotless.
Man, he poked Taylor Swift to those mitts.
Man, guy went from working at M&S to shopping in M&S. Dorothy heads out of Munchkinland with another toe-tapping song to speed her on her way.
We're off to see the wizard.
Yeah, this is it.
We're off to see the wizard. That's a song that you're going to hear a lot.
It's great.
It is great, and it's kind of the running theme of the whole movie. Another thing I just want to say about the set design on this fucking movie, which is amazing. These matte paintings, these portraits in the background are so beautiful.
Stunning, man. It's beautiful.
And like so simple. Not simple, I'm sure they were like hard to
They have
design.
so much texture to them.
Yep.
And that's in the background, Rido. The road forks in this cornfield.
Oh, mere corn in this fucking... Are we sure we're not still in Kansas?
I don't know about this thing, man. I do not know about this thing, man. Oh, this thing talks, man.
You talk about this
I would, Ryan,
Are you scared yet?
I would pick up the nearest thing and just run at it, man. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You set it on fire like the witch.
Did you see this?
He's certainly
I would just scream at the sky.
The scarecrow to me doesn't look that bad. It's when he starts moving and he's like these mad weird jelly legs, he's falling about a lot.
It shouldn't be about.
He's a very physical actor, whoever the guy is. And he, do you know what I mean? Like a lot of falling about, a lot of leg work. Have you noticed this?
No.
She's walking down the yellow brick road. By the way, Gilda, fucking good witch, a bit of a heads up about this crossroads. Like she just says, "Oh, yellow brick road," and she's like, "Oh, how did I get there?" And she's like, "Follow the yellow brick road."
She's
so unhelpful.
She could have flew her half of the way.
She could have come in my bubble with me, my mad flying bubble that I cut a bit in, and I'll take you there or whatever. But she just tells her to follow this road and then doesn't tell her what to do if she comes to a crossroads. Anyway, we encounter the scarecrow.
This thing, man. Man, I swear to God, man.
You know a fan of the scarecrow? How do you feel about the end of
Yous
the
would try and like convince me like, oh, we need help.
You know, stuffing him? When he's stuffing for us, stuffing his jumper?
I don't want anything to do with this at this point. I would just walk back. No,
back to
man.
Munchkinland.
This is
I
too
love
much
with you guys
fun.
now.
I've seen too much at this point, man. I'll take my chance with him.
Just been introduced.
No, this thing's boofing.
In fairness, you could have just walked past him.
Pure dry dick. No, man. And he talks pish all the time, I know.
I mean, they all talk pish.
Oh,
They never shut up, these three.
have you met these clowns?
Oh man, they're fucking numpties, man. The three of them are just a...
Don't get me started in there too, man.
We're going to have to. It is the nature of this podcast to talk about it.
Dorothy helps him off this pole. He's been cannibal holocausted up there.
Chinky was at one point a human. And they've just
Aye.
done some horrible experiments to
He's
him.
been cursed, man.
And wiped his memory, which is why he doesn't have a brain.
He's been cursed.
She gets him off this hook. He falls down again. All his stuff and falls out. She helps him put it back in himself. You're freaking out over there. And then he sings the song. If I only had a brain.
I would just no. Honestly,
You would give me
no.
see them?
I would sit at that point and go, what does he mean he's not got a brain? That is so weird. Why is he up stoning? Why has it got eyes?
You would probably try and talk to him like, oh, you...
I wouldn't try and talk to him.
You'd be dust.
I would be shaking my head the whole time whilst you try to communicate with us.
So in your situation, are me and you together and us, we've both came in a flying house, we've killed one woman already, we need to go to Oz, we've came across a scarecrow for some reason, and in your situation, you've fucked off, you've walked back to Munchkinville, left me with this fucking scarecrow to deal with.
But he doesn't fucking know me. Why if I get involved with him? No.
I mean, you don't need to get involved.
What, is there straw people? I don't want to live there, do you?
That's the thing as
What
well.
do they eat, Ryan? Meat? Us? No.
No, but that's the thing, like, is he the only scarecrow? Like, is there a...
No.
Is there a village of
aye.
scarecrows?
There's
He must
fields
have
of them.
He must have a scare family. Because, like, when he goes to... Later on in the movie, when they go to the city of Oz, the Kingdom of Oz, nobody's like, oh my god, a fucking walking, talking scarecrow, this is freaky. They just all accept it.
Oh, do you think they call dry humping straw dogging?
Nice.
A little further down the road, they run into a grove of living, talking apple trees.
Also, at this point, you see the witch just hanging out behind a tree. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Man, this scarecrow lets a square go with this tree.
He throws apples at them.
Aye, so Dorothy tries to pick an apple from what she thinks is a normal tree. Then the tree's like, what's the big idea? And it's a guy in a tree suit. Again, I guess that's not weird. They start fighting, and Scarecrow's ready to fucking go to town. Scarecrow's like, hey, don't talk to her like that. And I'm like, whoa, Scarecrow, calm down or you'll be back up in that peg.
While gathering the fruit, Dorothy discovers a man made of tin. Man.
What's your thoughts on this guy?
It's the thing of nightmares, man. This thing is freaking me out, this Chrome Dafty. Did you see this? What is this about?
Everybody's seen this before.
This is bizarre, man. How did he end up like this? If this is what Edward Scissorhands was going to be, I'd rather have him just cutting about with Scissorhands.
In fairness,
No, man. Don't defend this.
no, in fairness, he does explain how he got there.
I don't care.
He says he was cutting down a tree. It
I
started
just
raining.
care how he leaves. I don't.
He's cutting down a tree. It started raining. That's how he rusted and he gets stuck in that position.
I would freak out if I saw this. I would lose my mind, man.
At least he's mechanical, so I get why he
Oh,
exists.
cool. He's got 5,100 horsepower shoved up his butt, so he's going to come at me with that axe.
It does look awful. Like, it looks like a robot.
It
And what's called a
freaked
tin man.
you out. Admit it.
No, really never.
It's
I
weird.
thought these characters are quite warm and loving, but
Right.
you're fucking hating this.
Okay.
It's like some sort of body horror for you.
It's one of the pure Robin Williams.
Bicentennial Man. That's a shatter, man.
He went through
That's a fucking awful year he had.
He went through a crazy patch, didn't he?
I can't defend Bicentennial Man, and I would call it a shite Robin Williams films.
I watched RV.
Oh, you'd never
I
did.
did. Do you remember the RVs
I'm-
pure
I'm just-
balancing on a cliff?
I watched RV when we went to the caravan, and I watched this caravan that I mentioned every episode, and that you cut out every episode.
It's getting cut again.
Nobody knows about the caravan, but I thought it'd be ironic and funny to watch RV when we went on a caravan holiday, so we done it. Man, do you know what the Tin Man loves more than anything? No. Well, a second to eating people, he loves to be oiled up, man. He's just asking for it constantly. Oil, spray it on me. Face, neck and chest. He wants this oil all over him, man. You notice this?
This thing's rotten, man.
Would you help him with the wee oil can?
I wouldn't be anywhere near this.
He does a dance. It's the If I Only Had a Heart song, which is the same song, but still classic. He does this falling gimmick,
Yeah.
but it's basically just that Michael Jackson dance.
The Witch of the West interrupts all this sort of singing and dancing.
She's standing on a roof and she threatens him. She says to Scarecrow that she's going to make a mattress out of him. And she says she's going to make a beehive out of the Tin Man. That just makes it scarier. Imagine the Tin Man just now has bees inside him that he can open up and they can just fire at you. You've just made him more dangerous.
As far as I'm concerned, there's too many already.
So the witch basically threatens him, tells him to fuck off basically, and that she's going to get Dorothy. And then we're in the dark forest.
Where the wild animals roam free.
Right, and then we're introduced to the most controversial of the three, I would... The most controversial of the three, I would say.
No, man.
You know, it's a podcast, you're just looking at me ashen faced.
Is rife, man.
Rife, what?
Honest to God, man. It looks like Leatherface's cousin, man. This looks like a human stapled this to itself, man. I am not into this. This is fucking freaking me out this whole time, man. That's freedom.
We started
That's
doing this
freedom.
movie. I thought this was going to be like one of those podcasts where we're just like talking about how much we love this movie, but this is taking a turn where you're terrified of all these characters. Well, he threatens them all at first. He jumps. First of all, when he shows up, when he first appears, he runs at them on all fours.
Oh, I can't even look at it.
His hair's all matted.
I watched this in 4K, man.
I'll tell you what, of the three of them, I think the lion looks worse in 4K. Because you see the lines where the wig is, you can see his wee mask. Like, you can see his face under the lion face. The makeup is not great here.
They look like they pulled this guy out the Tron gate, man. This guy worked for Doubts, man. No, this is brutal. I
think this is controversial for me because I think he might be my favourite character of the three. Because at least he's funny. Do you think he's funny? You just horrified. Do you know like when he goes, put him up.
I was horrified looking at this, man. Do you remember the
Would
fly?
you square go with this line?
What?
Would you square go with this thing?
I need to say again, I wouldn't be anywhere near this.
Where would you be? I would like to see the version of this movie where you
just
just
say-
run away for everything and you're a pure shite bag.
I'd set up life in the
Munchkinland.
Munchkinland. I'm roughly their height.
Hey,
I could push them
you could
about a
probably,
bit.
probably like king of the Munchkins.
I become the king and I'm like,
I'm bigger than you, build us a house.
it's going to be my way now. Send your Munchkin wife there. We're Munchkin sister.
I'm going to need two at a time.
You come here and all later. It's going to get weird.
You're just going to fuck all the Munchkins.
Lollipop girl, daddy, why's your lollipop?
And you get your iPod out. You play Lollipop by 50 Cent.
They're like, where is this music?
Take it to candy
It's-
shop, bitch.
It's Fiddy.
You don't know Fiddy? How small are you? you get candy shop on a loop. You're just getting rid of the Munchkins.
And I just go,
fucking them.
and I just go, this is my shop now and kick 'em. We're selling swedge. And I brought loads.
What swedge? Everything gets so much worse.
Aye. You're the worst thing to happen to us.
It's like Biff and Back to the Future too.
Oh, but pure schemy. This lion's hoaching, man. I bet you it's covered in parasites and all sorts, man. It looks like it's got a serious alcohol problem.
I think that's just the actor. He is very rosy cheeked. You can smell it off him.
You know he was up for a griddle every morning.
So he goes for Lion and Tin Man, then he goes for Toto, tries to kill the dog, and then Dorothy has enough and she slaps him in the nose and he starts crying immediately. That's pretty funny.
He could have ate her on half, man.
But he's a big shite bag, that's the point.
No, man.
She slaps him in the nose, he's like, what'd you do that for?
He's putting that on, man.
Jingus just has a false sense of security, so she gets in closer.
This thing's rattled me.
He just rips her throat. See when he says, look at the bags under my eyes, I haven't slept in weeks.
And Tin Man says, why don't you count sheep? He's like, I'm afraid of him.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a good line.
That's good.
So he doesn't have a song, really.
No,
He has a different version of the song, but Courage doesn't rhyme.
the witch isn't done with them yet.
As she's watching him through this crystal ball, again, this looks great. So she's got this monkey with her, she's looking at him through a crystal ball, and she decides she has to kill them, but she doesn't know how to do it, so she decides to poison the poppies, I guess.
In the snow.
So she makes a potion. I don't know how magic works, right? It's a fucking kitten movie just going right. She makes some sort of potion. She poisons the poppies. Dorothy passes out, and Toto passes out, and then the lion passes out, but Tin Man and Scarecrow are okay because they're not human. I'm sure you're loving this because they're just freakazoid monsters.
They are not human, man. I would just repeat that here and there. See, while she was trying to reason with me, in between the screams, I'd be like, they are not human. And that big thing's gonna try and mate with me. I think that big lion would mate with me at some point. That thing looks like it was made by Dr. Moreau, mate.
It does.
That thing's
Pure
beautiful.
Marlon Brando in it.
That is,
Anyway.
I'd sleep up a tree.
Oh, but lions can climb trees.
No, that thing, mate. Have you seen it? That thing's a mess.
It sleeps at the bottom of a tree, rough as fuck.
No, man.
Anyway, back to the movie. Tin Man and Scarecrow shout for help. This is where Gilda shows up and makes it snow, and the snow apparently counteracts the poison. I don't know the science behind it, but
Ironically, 100% asbestos.
That's right. This is actually asbestos they dropped. That's mental.
And I think they knew it was asbestos as well. Like, they knew it was bad.
But did people know what asbestos was back
I believe that. I think the trivia went on to say they did know what it was.
then? And they just never told them?
I think so, aye.
Imagine the lawsuit that you would have got if that was the day.
The famous poppy field scene. The snow used in those camera shots was definitely made from an industrial-grade crystal asbestos, despite the fact the health hazards of asbestos had been known for several years.
Oh, so it was known.
Isn't that mad?
That's fucking mental.
Refreshed from the nap, Dorothy and her friends continued on to the Emerald City.
They're continuing on and we've got the song.
I would have ran I'd have ran whilst they slept, man. And hope that lion didn't take them on his back and hop up.
That was like, oh man, I want to see the alternative version of this movie, but it's like your perspective. Because you've ran away. You're no longer the yellow brick road. You've took the red brick road.
Have you seen Return to Oz?
Is that the one with Zach Braff?
No.
And James Franco?
No,
Shanna?
I like that a wee bit.
Did you?
The Great and Powerful Oz. I
The
do
Lowly
like.
one?
It's all
Mila Kunis?
It's all a tribute to like cinema and movie making. It's really nice. It's Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I don't know how far that goes now. I know I get that. Yeah.
That would have... that. Although I loved his Doctor Strange, because they just let him do whatever he wanted.
It's kind of cool, honestly. I kind of like Oz the Great. I've seen it once. So
I've seen it once. I've seen it in the cinema when it came out, and I didn't love it.
Yeah.
It might be worth a rewatch.
I did like it.
Are you talking about the one with Michael Jackson?
With Fairuza Balk, and Return to Oz.
I'm thinking of The Wiz.
You're thinking of The Wiz. Fairuza Balk one. She's just like Dorothy, but a bit more mental. It's a crazy movie. Frank Oz directed that you should.
Was it a sequel, or was it just a different take on it?
Yeah, it is a sequel, and you couldn't show your veins that one. It is darker, and everything's just the same, but a bit stranger. You get the wheelers and stuff like that.
Interesting, aye.
It's a crazy movie. I watched it this time last year. The guy at the front, the merry old land of Oz, we get Oz here.
Yeah, they approach the city gates of the Emerald City. This is kind of funny. They ring the bell and this guy answers and he says the bell's not working. So he makes them knock and then he answers again. This is the guy. So this guy plays, am I right in saying this?
Professor Marvel.
Yeah, Professor Marvel. This guy plays all the characters basically here.
Pure up to it, man.
This is another thing I'm saying. Do you think he get paid extra for like being more than one character? Or do you think they're like, here's your salary, deal with it?
Aye, you're lucky if you get a sandwich. Go play in that asbestos and do a snow angel.
That's true. He's great, man.
Don't
He's like
ask questions.
the best part of this
Captain
movie.
Marvel. And then they gave him a titty twister. And Judy went, "Oh, jeez, I hope they don't do that to me." I don't know if that was.
What's the accent?
I don't know if that was a good Judy.
Is she from England or Jamaica? What was that?
No
I
idea.
went all over the world. That
We're
accent.
recording quite late. Much singing and dancing ensues here, basically telling us how good Oz is.
Merry old land of Oz. They're all getting makeovers here. At least that lion's getting a wash.
I wouldn't wash that.
But like all the slaves wash it.
I would be terrified in that thing's presence, man. I see whilst everybody else is partying, I would just be looking at that.
What's your thoughts on this horse? The horse of many colours. This colour changing horse.
I like this horse.
The lion at least gets a clean and gets a haircut and gets a wee bow in its head. The Tin Man at least gets washed and he's not full of rust. He's nice and silver and shiny. Dorothy's got a bow in her hair and her hair's all been done. She looks all nice and pretty. Scarecrow looks exactly the same. They done nothing to
What are
him.
you doing with that?
Sew him so that his
What
shit
are
doesn't
you
get one
do-
falling
I
out.
wouldn't touch it.
We've established that you wouldn't get near any of these
Thing
people.
looks like a paper cut waiting to happen, man. I wouldn't go near that thing, man.
What is this, the mask? It's like a bag over his head with a rope tied around his neck. That's kind of fucking weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that sack, apparently whatever they used to get it to this actor's face, long takes, it took apparently over a year for the marks on his face to disappear.
What the fuck? That's not natural.
I know, imagine that being stuck to you like that. You're not getting parts after that. Hellraiser's not coming out for ages.
See, in fairness though, like, this was the biggest movie ever. Like, that must have been good on the resume. You could have, like, slapped your dick on that table and been like, yeah, I wasn't a wizard, I was.
Once again, the witch crashes the party, using menacing skywriting to put the heat on Dorothy. This is amazing. It was like done in a water tank with ink or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
And reversed.
That is really cool.
Isn't that clever?
That's very clever. It's a bit wordy as well. Like, that's a lot of letters.
Yeah.
She could
It's
have-
a big threat.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, see people like hire planes now with like those signs hanging off at the back of them with a skywriting.
Are you saying no?
It's a new trend that the Waynes are all doing on the TikTok.
Mate, I had to look around to see if I was in Life on Mars. Do you remember that Shanaria programme they tried to tell us?
David Bowie. It was a program based on David Bowie, but it was also a police detective show.
He was a detective and he went back in time, and I was like, no, no.
I'm not going to lie, I never seen an episode of it.
The sequel was Ashes to Ashes. I know. Dorothy starts to cry. The wizard refuses to see Dorothy and her pals.
Aye, everybody freaks out. The wizard, not the wizard, but the guard, is like, nobody sees the wizard. No where, no how. Is that what he says? Something like that?
I thought I was sitting with him. Are you a wizard?
She cries and she's like, oh, I'm going to miss my Aunt Em. I miss home, blah, blah, blah. The guard sees this. He starts greeting as well and says, I'll try my best. He
If
goes
that
away.
was you, you'd be like, and this is a shithole.
Fucking boat, man.
Man,
Do you want to go back to Kansas for a week? Get dogs that change colour?
it's a channel.
Horses, whatever.
You ever,
Kansas is the shatter.
you ever tried any munchkin meat? The munchkins are delicious.
Here, add a munchkin on a skewer. Try that, man. Be a bit of salt and pepper on it. It's magic.
If pure struggles,
Magic munchkins.
struggles to lift it. But if pure loves it.
It's like a full munchkin. I thought it was chopped up.
No,
you get
man.
an entire
No. You go big or go home.
It's like one of those
That's the-
pigs. It's like a rotisserie pig, but it's like a person.
I think this is getting offensive. They think twice once they enter the presence of the wizard. It's this giant floating head.
We missed a song though.
What song?
The Lions. I know you hate this, but the Lions song when he sings about courage. I don't remember the name of the song. If I Were a King, I think it's called.
I don't think this thing should be singing about anything.
He said, do you know what though? There's a cool sequence here. See when they pick up this rug on the floor and they put it around him like a cape, and they break a vase and put it on him like a crown. It looks pretty cool. It's a pretty cool look, no for you.
They're scared and they insult him before he orders them to bring the witch's broomstick in exchange for his help. The lion responds by diving out the nearest window.
That is funny. That's a good scene. One of the signs says, "I'd turn back now if I were you."
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Do you see these flying monkeys?
These scared me. I do remember
These
flying
are
monkeys.
alright, man.
They still kind of look good. It's clearly just guys in monkey suits, but do you know what?
They look professional.
They're scary enough, and the noises they make is kind of terrifying.
They wear wee hats.
Their wee hats kind of make them look a bit too cute,
Aye.
and their wee waistcoats. But at the same time, these wings are kind of horrific.
Do you think they'd rip your face off?
I think they're pretty violent.
Do you
monkeys,
think so?
Aye. Like, I don't think they would, because like the witch hasn't ordered it yet. But I'm sure when she wants you dead and she sends the monkeys on you and just lets them go to town, man, they'll just eat you.
Pure full of that munchkin meat.
Man, these monkeys wreck Scarecrow's shit here. Did you see this?
Aye, man.
I thought that Tin Man and the Lion got it pretty easy. They just sort of get knocked to the ground, but Scarecrow gets his limbs ripped apart, man.
Aye.
It's like fucking the end of Boys in the Hood.
In a way.
Don't know why that was the first movie they ever gave it in my head. Must be something much worse than that. It's like
It's Robocop?
I was like, it's RoboCop, but a pure PG version. But like, see, he's just like, they took my legs and they threw them over there, and then my stomach and they threw it over there.
I would have said, sorry, this is too much. We need to leave you and go. This is where you've... If you're the straw man and you look like this and you've been turned into this, I'm going, sorry, Ryan.
Aye,
This is too much.
I would respect that.
Hopefully that's blown away up there.
Oh, and there's no wind in this
Your
forest. Like,
shoulders
see, one
earlier.
gust of wind, he's off, man.
He is. They pounce on the gang and carry off with Dorothy and Toto. Did you see that?
Why grab the dog? Like, their orders were to grab the girl and get the slippers. Why pick up the dog?
It's cute.
Jinky just wants it as a pet. Jinky picked up the dog because they're like, oh, doggy.
In case they're on a munchkin meat.
Oh, they're going to eat that dog, aren't they?
The witch threatens Toto with a grisly death if Dorothy doesn't give up the slippers.
No, but see, to be honest, this is a pretty good deal. She's like, I'll let you go, and I'll let your dog go if you give me the slippers. See, if I'm Dorothy, man, I'll weaken these things right off my feet straight away.
No, man, they get you back out of there. You don't know that yet, though.
Aye, all she knows is that they're shiny and red. She doesn't know they've got magic powers and shit.
Toto goes for backup.
The fact that they know what the dog wants straight away. This is that Lassie thing where Lassie would show up and be like, woof, woof, woof. And they'd be like, oh, what's that, Lassie? Oh, fucking little Timmy's trapped in a well. So you don't know what that fucking dog's saying, it's just barking. The dog rallies the troops, comes back and is just like, right, go on, boys, son of where Dorothy is. And they all just go, right, sound, and they just follow it. No
And they
questions asked.
put this thing back together.
Oh, you know, this is some crazy stitch job they've done to him as well.
See, if I was in that unit heading for this mission and I've kissed them goodbye, the partner back at home, and they tell me you need to stop to put this thing back together, firstly I'd say, what is it? And secondly I'd say, no,
It's too far gone.
that's no for me. I'm not capable of whatever that is.
You would just
I
like,
don't want to touch that.
you would just sort of leave him.
This whole thing's ridiculous. I'm getting home. A magical hourglass marks the time.
I've got a question about the hourglass.
Go for it.
What is this? What is it meant to do? So when she turns the hourglass, like when the time runs out, does she just die instantly, or is it like when it gets to the bottom, I'm going to come into the room and kill you? Like
It marks the time she's got left to live. She gets images of Auntie M here as well, and then we go back to these. The monster squad, man. Pfft, man.
do you like it when they're scaling this mountain that's clearly just like 3 rocks put together in a studio, and a Tin Man's hanging off the lion's tail?
I would. That's 2 in a fell swoop, man. Honestly.
You just step on a couple of fingers and they're down. So they get to the castle gates and they're standing looking over these rocks, and these soldiers are marching. They're doing like the woo thing.
Yeah.
And they've got this is that exact scene for Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the Black Gate.
The Black Gate.
Like,
Dorothy gets out a cape and blends into a rock.
man, that scene is so tense.
It's amazing.
When that guy walks up and he throws the cape over him.
They cut
You forgot about-
they cut us a wee bit rough, but
He stopped.
I don't like the fact that the guy stops walking exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Because all he has to do is just take one step and he steps on them. These soldiers show up behind him and they try to jump them. And there's this big cartoon brawl, like seeing cartoons where it's just all like smoke animations and like, do you know what I mean? You just see like occasional fist flying. And then it does a good cut where they all stand up and they're wearing the uniforms. So you know there's a violent fights happened, but you don't see the fight. But I know in your head that lion just went fucking mental and ripped some throats there.
That lion's stripping me, man. And then playing with me.
It would have been so good if like they all
Imagine
popped
that,
their
mate.
heads up wearing the outfits, but they're all covered in blood.
You're doing a job, right? You're just going to your work. And this thing comes at you at night.
That lion.
That lion
It's
thing comes
over. I
at
don't
you.
even fight back. I just
Your
like,
life
accept death.
has changed forever.
It was over.
You don't want to live another day.
No, after seeing that, knowing that exists in the world, no. Just take me. Just aye. So they sneak into the castle disguised as guards. Toto leads them to Dorothy's room. Tin Man uses his axe to break it down. They break in just in time before the hourglass runs out. They try to escape. Stop me if I'm wrong at any point or if I miss anything.
No, go for
They
it.
try to escape and then the door slams shut. It's been a trap, I think, by the witch.
Yeah.
And now they're cornered. Scarecrow uses his brain here. He sees that there's a chandelier above them and he grabs Tin Man's axe and uses it to cut the chandelier down. It falls on top of all these baddies. And then they run away.
That's it.
And then they get cornered in this little... What would you call this area of a castle? It's like, see, up the top of a castle.
A
Like,
turret. No.
yes, yeah, a turret, yeah. They're cornered at this little castle turret, and the witch starts giving them shit. She's like, I'm going to kill you all one by one, and I know you're sitting here loving it.
Man, she sets fire to a scarecrow.
It's kind of fucked up. The thing is, they kill the witch
She cooks
basically by accident. She goes to burn this scarecrow, which I know you've been wanting to do. And then there's a very convenient bucket of water lying right next to them.
it. This thing wouldn't have seen Emerald City, man.
What, the bucket of water?
That scarecrow. That'd have been burnt one night for the heat.
I used to do it, like, used to take camp somewhere. You and the scarecrow would have took camp, and when it falls asleep, you burn it. And it's
The rest of us would have seen it as the weakest in it and just took its resources.
use it as a straw for the fire
Aye.
to kindle the fire.
Even to sleep on. And it wouldn't shut up as I slept on it. What have you done?
Just shushing it. Someone Barbie, easy. You're choking them to death.
Being the bad person that she is, the witch promises to kill them all one by one, leaving Dorothy for last. Oh, we did all that.
So that she can see her friends die, which is kind of fucking dark for a kids movie.
It is a dark movie.
It is, yeah, totally.
The water has a lethal effect, causing her to melt.
See, do you think she knows that water's bad for her?
I mean, why was a bucket of water kicking about?
I imagine like Superman just had kept cutting about his house.
I would keep it about in case any straw men show up.
Aye, so she melts. This is the most famous death in a movie history?
The guards, who wasn't really that much into the witch anyway, say Dorothy's like their saviour and give
Aye,
her...
they'll go, all hail Dorothy, the witch is dead. They're happy with it.
She's done alright for herself here.
Dorothy
Why go back?
Dorothy showed up to us in the space of a day, maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
Killed 2 people. She's now basically a mass murderer. She's murdered 2 people and everybody loves her for it. She finds out in the next scene that the wizard's a fraud as well. Sent him his balloon. He fucks off back to canvas, and then Dorothy rules this place with an iron fist.
The whole thing's corrupt. They get to Emerald City, only to find the wizard waffling on his promises. Having vanquished the scariest woman in the whole wide world, they're now unimpressed by the wizard's theatrics.
The second time they go to him, they're not that scared of him anymore.
No.
Because I suppose
They've seen behind the curtain, as it was.
Yeah.
Well,
he tells
not
them,
yet, but
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. He
They know
tells
it's coming, it feels
He
like.
tells them to come back tomorrow, and they just start giving them jib. They're just like, no, you've had plenty of time. We've done what you asked. Like you promised us. As they're talking to him and arguing with him, Toto goes over
and pulls the curtain back, and we see the wee guy with a quite impressive setup. I'll give him that. Like the microphone, all these dials and levers. He's doing a lot.
Do you
here.
think, despite that instrument, like audiences back then were still like they heard the horns for Inception and they were like, "Oh,
Yeah, man.
it was that wee guy." He was all the Munchkins, and somebody goes, "What?" No, he wasn't.
That's not how
That
the
isn't
movie
how it works. What?
Oh, I thought I took a different message for that film. I know you did.
He was pulling all the levers. The
All
man,
the Munchkins were controlled by his levers.
the robots.
They're all wee robots.
They're all wee robots. You're not supposed to say wee robots, you're just supposed to say robots.
Alright, they're all robots.
The batteries would be wee
You know, they're like triple A's. These skinny ones.
doubles. Or one big square.
Fucking watch batteries.
Watch batteries. The man is. This is a wizard. He has no powers at all, and they've seen behind the curtain. This is amazing.
It was literally smoke and mirrors. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it was, yeah. What a pyro and ballyhoo, as they say.
Like that magic program when he wore the mask. Do you remember that?
Remember that? That
It was-
broke everything, man.
It was a cool
He got death
mask.
threats and shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, he was like the first magician, in quotes, to do that. To expose all these tricks.
Do you remember the cool mask?
It was like that sort of black one with the white
White
face. to it.
stripes.
It was so cool. It was got.
It was all smoke and mirrors.
Aye. That's,
He's like the wizard though. And he Ryan.
that magician that revealed how to do a stupid card trick.
Aye.
I suppose he was. but at least the wizard took his mask off in the end.
I wouldn't hear man having the honours of people with magic after me.
He done. See, in fairness to him, it was a very good thing he done. Not good, like morally, but like
Do you mean for the world?
no. I meant like for himself. Like he thought, I'm going to take over these suckers. He's landed in this world. They think he's a god because he's first year fell for the sky. So they're like, "You're a god." And he's just like, "Aye, I'm a wizard."
He's
And
betrayed that, whatever you
They've
call
all
it.
bought it.
The coven, the circle, whatever you call it.
The fact that he's managed to build this really impressive tech, like if anything, like the microphone and all the smoke and mirrors and that's some graft he's put into that.
I mean,
place.
that isn't him financing that himself. That's a studio. I'm pretty sure they've got
in
an
the world.
airplane into one of them.
But in
You think he got that?
in the world of Oz, I'm saying this guy's landed. They've took him on as a god, and he's just went with it
Ryan,
and conned
can I
an
be
entire nation.
totally honest?
Yeah.
I still thought you were talking about that magician. I don't know. I did wonder why you said
I
God.
was back in the movie. I'm trying to get us back on
I
track.
wondered why you said God.
Oh, he wasn't a god.
The wizard buys them off with a few trinkets, saying that they now possess the very qualities that they were after.
How has he just got these to hand, also?
Also, nah.
No, what?
He should just say, on you go, thank you, on you go.
But
We
again,
don't need to make a hang of this.
it's the same as with Dorothy at the start, where he's really nice to her. He is a nice guy. He's just a con man. Because he tries to help them. He gives the Scarecrow a diploma.
Yeah.
And he gives... What does he give the Tin Man? I can't work this out. It's a clock, obviously, but it's like...
In the shape of a heart.
in the shape of a heart. But it's also got like... But looks like bits of popcorn stuck to it. What is this thing?
Prick can't even tell you time, man. He's a tin.
I can't tell the time.
He's a big daft tin.
He is a big daft tin, aye. The lion, he's a Medal of Honour, is that right? Medal of Valour?
I'd rather not talk about it, man.
Where did he get that medal? Was he stole that for one of these dead bodies in the war?
Man, how do we get rid of this thing?
The lion?
This thing is...
Seemingly pulls this black bag out. Like, see if he just pulls a trank gun out and just shoots this lion. He's
I
just
would
like, run.
phone Craven the Hunter on the heartbeat, man.
I get him to sort it out.
That thing isn't right, man. That thing went in that machine for the fly. With a line.
Oh, imagine that. That is
It
horrifying.
looks like a Cronenberg.
It does a bit, aye.
Dorothy can't make it home with just a medal or a diploma, so the wizard says to take her home in a balloon. I don't know if this 16-year-old lassie should go.
This wee lassie getting in a balloon with this old man up in the sky for God knows how long. And there's nowhere to go in a balloon.
She was ironically safer with this this monster squad.
I mean, at least the worst line you could do is eat her.
Man, and that Tin Man would just play with you. He'd play with the play with the bits of you, wouldn't he? Just he's no soul. There's nothing in that. Sorry.
Fucking hell. Man, I want to get in your head and like
These three are going to run this place. What is
that's
that going?
mental.
What's that going to look like?
No, it's going to end up. It's going to be like Back to the Future 2 and Biff runs a place. It's just going to be like a total.
He
hellhole.
can't think for himself.
Well,
the
that's
lion's going to be top dog.
The guy has just met these people, like either earlier that
These
day.
are no people.
He's just met these creatures, and he's just like, right, everybody, I'm away back to Kansas on this balloon with a wee lassie. Don't ask questions. By the way, while I'm away, this scarecrow's going to be in charge.
These things are going to look after the place.
This scarecrow, this robot, and this lion Cronenberg creature are going to be your new leaders.
Hello.
I can't hear you down there. What is it?
What are these things?
Don't ask questions. I've already said that. I'm always a great and powerful. Shut up.
Just before the balloon leaves, Toto goes chasing after a cat. Dorothy jumps out of the balloon's basket to get him, and the wizard and balloon float up without her.
This is kind of funny. Where she's like, please come back. He's like, I don't know how it works.
Dorothy despairs at ever going home, despite the fact she's surrounded by people who would cheerfully give their lives to protect her and let her live in their sweet Emerald City. And Glinda shows up.
Yeah, Glinda shows up. Dorothy's crying. Glinda, the most unhelpful woman ever, by the way. Like,
Quite-
just shows up and gives the vaguest advice.
So vague.
See if she has like some further instructions, it would help so much. It's like with the Wizard of Oz, it's like with the Yellow Brick Road patter earlier when she doesn't tell her that there's going to be crossroads, or here, like where she's like, oh, you had the ability to go home all along, and it's just like, what the fuck, bitch, why didn't you wait about that?
What did I need to go through all that for?
And she's like, well, you have to learn for yourself that there's no place like home. It's like, no, I didn't. She just waltzes in her wee bubble and just like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, you could have went home all along. She says goodbye to Tin Man. He says something like, now I know I do have a heart because now it's breaking. She says goodbye to Lion. I forget what he says. And then she turns to a Scarecrow and she's like, I'm going to miss you most of all.
Yeah. Why? What did he bring to any of this?
Is it just because she met him first?
The lion was hideous, but probably the most useful in some ways. The Tin Man was probably alright.
The Scarecrow?
I don't know what any of them did.
They
Dorothy probably could have done this herself with a dog.
Well, no, the Tin Man's axe broke down that door to
Take
save
it
her.
off him, keep him rusted.
And the Tin Man's axe also put that chandelier down. So basically, the only one that was useful, like practically, was the Tin Man.
No, man.
No, you're not having any praise for any of these monstrosities.
She clicks her heels 3 times, recites the well-known catchphrase.
There's no place like home.
Dorothy and Toto are sent back to grey old Kansas. Everyone is waiting for her there, even though they think she has just had a dream.
Yeah, she wakes up, she says, well, she tells them about it, and it does sound, obviously, like something that would be in a dream. Even the wizard is there, or what's his name? Mr. Marvelous, or whatever his name is.
Professor Marvel.
Yes, he shows up through a window and says, I want to make sure Dorothy's okay. Do you think he knows?
I think he knows his way about that teenager's windy.
Do you think he knows? Do you think, like, he knows about Oz? It seems a bit mysterious, this guy.
No, but they do. This is it. Totally, they don't acknowledge it past this point. They were going to do a cut where she wakes up and the ruby slippers are still on, indicating that it was a real place.
Ah, that would have been cool.
They then said they thought studio audiences were too sophisticated for that. I guarantee
Wow, respecting your audience.
they would do that now.
Oh,
Because we're just shoveling whatever into
But you know, they
ourselves.
wouldn't do it right away. They would do it in like a mid-credit sequence, like one of those Marvel
That's
movies.
exactly it. See the crumbs that post-credit sequences
Do you
became?
know what, I can't stand them anymore. It was
They're
a cool
gross.
gimmick after the first Iron Man movie where he's seen Thor's hammer.
They're pure gluttonous now, aren't they?
And it was in the credits because these movies have teams and teams of people doing all sorts of shit with computers.
I know.
The credits are so long. It's like 15 minutes of credits.
I know.
And then like a 30-second scene that means nothing.
It's minging.
It's shit, isn't it?
The Wizard of Oz, 1939, by the way. Rate this thing.
Oh shit! Right, where do we start? I mean, it's a classic movie. It's the most famous movie ever. I know it's a bit up its own arse. At the end of the day, there is a reason it's so high regarded. It's amazing. It's incredible, and it's proper filmmaking. And not to sound like a pure snob or a hipster or whatever, but it's like this is how it should be. Like there's love put into like every scene. Like it's just perfect in a way. Even though it's not perfect, there's a lot wrong with the movie. But like it's just fun to watch, and what I said at the start of the podcast is still true. It gives me a nice feeling to watch it that I can't describe. I don't know why. It's just like the music, the score, the everything about it just makes me feel good, and that I think is the most important thing. It's short. I think because there's so many songs and it is a musical at the end of the day, it seems shorter because you need the songs eat up a lot of the runtime. But the songs aren't annoying. Some musicals. There's some songs that are hit and miss, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Cheat Up Charlie, No Thank You. This doesn't have any of that. Everything's a fucking banger. Yeah, I mean the stuff with the Munchkins and them not being paid well, and apparently there was a lot of abuse on set and stuff like that. I mean that was just a sign of the times rather than anything to do with the film itself. That's just how Hollywood was back then. It's no better now. It's just hidden better now. With all that being said, I'm not going to give it a 5. Because it's not a movie that I love so much that I need to watch all the time. Like, I probably haven't seen this movie in about 10 years. But I loved it when I did watch it. But it's very good, almost perfect. 4.5 out of 5 coconuts.
Okay. The Wizard of Oz, 1939. I think it's completely astonishing. It's so grand and legitimate and imaginative. It really is fantastic. It's still charming. I joke and all that about the 3 main characters, the Tin Man, the Lion and the Scarecrow. They all look fantastic for the time.
Yeah.
That would have been... Imagine you applied that makeup and such, or you were a set designer. You'd have been so proud. They all look amazing, and I'm just talking rubbish about it. And it is a fantastic film. I can imagine this blowing you away in 1939. It is astonishing. I wouldn't have shut up about it up the chimneys. I know that was more of a Victorian thing, but what was I going to get into shoes? It really is incredible. Still, now, it is incredible. 4.5 out of 5 coconuts. We're getting there. That's
Can't
us.
believe
We're in it. Let's keep every day in December a mystery.
Yes. Let's do it. No trailers.
No trails.
We'll just say this. No trailer, but we're going to start off big time with a Christmas cracker.